Hello friends, this is Pratiksha Garud working as an assistant professor in MBP Samaj Nasik. In earlier videos we have seen the MO energy level diagram for the homonuclear diatomic molecules of first row elements. In this video we have to study the MO energy level diagram for the second row elements. So let's start with that. So first of all we are having the MO energy level diagram for homonuclear diatomic molecules of the second row of the periodic table. Now we know that there are total 8 elements in the second row of the periodic table. So the second row of the periodic table contains 8 elements. So which are these 8 elements? So let's see. The second row consists of the first element is lithium. Lithium with the atomic number 3. The second element is the beryllium. The beryllium is with the atomic number 4. The third element is the boron. Boron is having the atomic number 5. Next one is the carbon with the atomic number 6. Then nitrogen, atomic number is 7. Oxygen, atomic number is 8. Fluorine with the atomic number 9, and the last one is the neon with the atomic number 10. So these are the total 8 elements which are present in the second row of the periodic table. Now if we see the electronic configuration of these elements, there is the presence of 2s and the 2p atomic orbitals. So when we form a diatomic molecule, that means there is a 2 atoms and it is a homonuclear. That means we are having the same atoms. When two same atoms they combine, they form a molecules. So atomic orbitals undergo overlapping and we get the formation of the molecular orbital. So let's see that. So suppose if we are having the atom 1 and atom 2, they are the homonuclear. That means the same atoms. And in this case, we are having the 2s orbital. 2s orbital for the first atom and 2s orbital of the second atom. So they undergo overlapping. Similarly, we are having the 2p orbital. Now we know that there are 3 2p orbitals. They are px, py and the pz. So these 3 2p orbitals of one atom undergo overlapping with the another 3 2p orbitals of the second atom. And due to the overlapping of the atomic orbital, we get the formation of the molecular orbital. So let's see that. So we can say that these 8 elements contain set of 1, 2s and 3 2p orbitals. So when these atomic orbitals they undergo overlapping, they form the molecular orbital. So first of all, when there is an overlap of s and s atomic orbital, it results in the formation of the 2 molecular orbitals, and the 2 molecular orbitals are sigma s and sigma asterisk s, that is a bonding and the anti-bonding. Second, when there is an overlap of px and the px atomic orbital. As there are 2 atomic orbitals, there should be formation of the 2 molecular orbital. So the 2 molecular orbitals are bonding and the anti-bonding. Bonding is sigma px and anti-bonding is sigma asterisk px. Similarly, when there is an overlap of py and the py orbital. So again, it results in the formation of 2 molecular orbitals. The bonding is pi py and the anti-bonding is pi asterisk py. And lastly, when there is an overlap of pz and the pz atomic orbital, it gives the formation of bonding, that is the pi pz, and anti-bonding is pi asterisk pz molecular orbital. So this is the overlapping of atomic orbital which gives the formation of the molecular orbital. Now here, the pi py and pi pz, these two orbitals, they are having the same energy. Similarly, pi asterisk py and the pi asterisk pz, that means these two antibonding molecular orbital, they are also having the same energy. So we say that pi py and pi pz, also pi asterisk py and pi asterisk pz, these orbitals, they are having the same energy and hence they are said to be degenerate. Degenerate means which are having the same energy. So when we are putting this molecular orbital in the MO energy level diagram, they are having the equal point. They are placed at the equal place. Okay. Then the magnitude of overlap decreases in the same order. That means S sigma overlap is equal to the P sigma, but which is greater than P pi. So we can say that the value of delta or beta also decreases in the same manner. And based upon this, the energy sequence of the molecular orbital, that means the energy sequence which is placed in the MO energy level diagram is. So this is the energy sequence based upon the overlap. The first of all, we are having the bonding, that is a sigma 1s, which is less than sigma asterisk 1s. So this is for the 1s. Then which is less than sigma 2s, which is less than sigma asterisk 2s. That means these two are for the bonding anti-bonding of the 2s. And then we are having the sigma 2px, which is less than pi 2py, which is equivalent to pi 2pz. Now these two are degenerate. Then which is less than anti-bonding, that is pi asterisk 2py, which is equivalent to pi asterisk 2pz. Again these two are degenerate, and finally we are having the sigma asterisk 2px. So this is the energy sequence of the MOs. That means the energy sequence of the MOs in the MO energy level diagram. So we can say that there are two MO energy level diagrams. Based upon this, we are having the two energy level diagrams. The first diagram indicates that we are having the interaction of S and P atomic orbital. The first diagram is when we are having the interaction of the S and the P atomic orbital, whereas the second diagram or the second figure is when we are having no interaction of the S and the P atomic orbitals. Okay, so we are having the two figures or two diagrams. The first one is when there is an interaction of S and the P atomic orbital, and second is when there is no interaction of the S and the P atomic orbitals. So let us see the first figure, that is the MO energy level diagram in which there is no interaction of the S and the P atomic orbital. So let us see that figure or the MO energy level diagram in which there is no interaction of the S atomic orbital and the P atomic orbital. So that figure is, this is the figure A. So remember this is a figure A. Figure A means there is no interaction between the S and the P atomic orbital. So this is the figure which is drawn across the axis, which is the energy axis. Then to one side we are having atomic orbital, another side also we are having the atomic orbital. Then at the center we are having the molecular orbital. Then this is the first MO energy level diagram, and this first MO energy level diagram is for the lowest atomic orbital. The lowest atomic orbital means the 1s atomic orbital. At one side 1s atomic orbital and another side also 1s atomic orbital. So when these two atomic orbitals undergo overlapping, they forms a two molecular orbital, that is a bonding and the anti-bonding. Lower is the bonding, upper is the anti-bonding. So the bonding is sigma 1s and anti-bonding is the sigma asterisk 1s. Okay, so this is the MO energy level diagram for the lowest, that is the 1s atomic orbital. Then we are having the second. The second diagram will be for the second, that is the 2s atomic orbital at one side and a 2s atomic orbital at the another sides. There are two 2s atomic orbitals, therefore there should be formation of the two molecular orbital. One is the bonding, another is the anti-bonding. The bonding will be sigma 2s, anti-bonding will be sigma asterisk 2s. And then after 1s 2s, what will be the next one? Next one will be the 2p. So we are having the 2p atomic orbital at one side and 2p atomic orbital at the another side. Now as there are 3 plus 3, total 6 atomic orbital, it should result in the formation of the 6 molecular orbitals. Okay, so their names are, we are having the sigma 2px, then pi 2py, pi 2pz. So lower 3 are the bonding, whereas upper 3, that means the pi asterisk 2py, pi asterisk 2pz and sigma asterisk 2px. These three are the antibonding. So in this way we are having the total 6 molecular orbitals from the 6 atomic orbitals of the 2p. Now here we can say that the 1s atomic orbital overlap with the 1s, the 2s atomic orbital overlap with the 2s, and the 2p atomic orbital overlaps, 2p atomic orbital overlap with the 2p atomic orbital. There is no interaction between the 2s and the 2p atomic orbital. Therefore, this is a figure in which there is no interaction between the s and the p atomic orbital, and this is a figure which is known as the figure A. Okay, so we can say that from this figure there is s atomic overlap, s atomic orbital overlaps with the s atomic orbital, and the p atomic orbital overlaps with the p atomic orbital. We have seen this. But in practice, such an interaction does take place and the sequence of the energy level is changed. That means we can say that in practice, the interaction between the s and the p atomic orbitals takes place. That's why the energy sequence will be changed. And hence we are having the new sequence. The new sequence is, first of all, we are having the as it is sigma 1s less than sigma asterisk 1s. That means the bonding and the antibonding of the 1s. Then sigma 2s less than sigma asterisk 2s. Again bonding and the antibonding. Then we are shifted. Here we was having the sigma 2px. That sigma 2px from this place is shifted to this place. That means instead of sigma 2px, we are having the pi 2py, which is equivalent to the pi 2pz, because they are degenerate. And then we are having this sigma 2px. Okay, and then less than antibonding, that is the pi asterisk 2py, which is equivalent to the pi asterisk 2pz. They are degenerate, and finally we are having the antibonding sigma asterisk 2px. Okay, so when there is an interaction between the s and the p atomic orbital, the sigma 2px that was earlier over here will be shifted over here, and hence due to this we are having the second diagram, and that second diagram is due to the interaction of the s and the p atomic orbital. So let us see the second diagram. That means the MO energy level diagram in which there is interaction of s and the p atomic orbital. So again we are having that diagram which is figure B. You have to just remember this figure A and figure B. Figure A means there is no interaction between the s and the p atomic orbital, whereas the figure B means there is interaction between the s and the p atomic orbitals. So this figure B is, again we are having the energy axis, increasing energy. At one side we are having the first atomic orbital, another side second atomic orbital, the center is the molecular orbital. Then to the lower side we are having the MO energy level diagram for the 1s atomic orbital. 1s atomic orbital at one side, 1s atomic orbital to the another side. It forms the bonding and the antibonding. Bonding is sigma 1s, antibonding is sigma asterisk 1s. Then we are having the second diagram. The second diagram is for the 2s atomic orbital. At one side we are having 2s, another side also we are having the 2s. Then the formation of the MO, that means the molecular orbital. The bonding is sigma 2s, antibonding is sigma asterisk 2s. And then thirdly we are having the diagram for the 2p. At one side we are having the 2p atomic orbital, and another side also we are having the 2p atomic orbital. So total we are having the 6 atomic orbitals. So as there are 6 atomic orbitals, it results in the formation of the 6 molecular orbitals, right? So out of these 6 molecular orbitals, 3 will be bonding and 3 will be antibonding. Their names are, the lower are pi 2py, pi 2pz, and above that sigma 2px. This is the change over here. In the earlier figure, that means the figure B, the position of this sigma 2px was over here, right? But in the figure, this sigma 2px is shifted above to the pi 2py and the pi 2pz. This is due to the interaction between this s and the p atomic orbital. So these are the 3 bonding molecular orbitals. Then we are having the pi asterisk 2py, pi asterisk 2pz, and finally sigma asterisk 2px. So we said that there is an interaction between the 2s and the 2p atomic orbitals. So how this interaction occurs? This interaction between these 2p and the 2s from one side also and also to the another side, like this also. That means there is an interaction between this 2p and the sigma asterisk 2s. Again 2p and the sigma asterisk 2s. Then there is an interaction of this sigma 2px and the 2s, and also the sigma 2px and the 2s. So in this way there is an interaction between the same type of the orbitals. That means the bonding and the anti-bonding. And due to the interaction between the 2s and the 2p atomic orbital, there will be the repulsion between the same sides. And due to the repulsion, the position of the sigma 2px is shifted above to the pi 2py and the pi 2pz. And this is known as the figure B. This is a little bit change in the figure B, in which there is an interaction between the 2s and the 2p atomic orbitals. So we can say that here in this figure, that is figure B, there is an interaction between the s and the px atomic orbital, which results in the repulsion between the pairs of orbital of the same type. That means the two sigma orbitals, which are sigma 2s and the sigma 2px, and also the two sigma asterisk orbital, that are sigma asterisk 2s and the sigma asterisk 2px. Okay, so there is a repulsion between the bonding and the same type of the bonding and same type of the anti-bonding. This energy difference between the s and the p atomic orbital is very less, or we can say it is the least for lithium, which is only 2 electron volt, and it increases steadily up to neon, which is near about 27 electron volt. Thus, we can say that up to nitrogen atom, we have to follow figure B. Figure B means in which there is no interaction between the s and the, figure B means we are having the interaction between the s and the p atomic orbital. Then from oxygen to neon molecule, you have to follow the figure A. Let us elaborate this in the next slide. We can say that we are having the lithium molecule, beryllium molecule, B2 molecule, C2 molecule, and N2 molecule. For all these 5 molecules, we say that we have to follow a figure, and that figure is figure B. Figure B means in which we can say that interaction of s and the p atomic orbitals. So when there is an interaction of s and the p atomic orbitals, we have to always follow the figure B. That is the second figure, and that means we can say that we have to follow the second figure for the lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, and nitrogen molecule. Right? Similarly, we say that for the oxygen molecule, fluorine molecule, and the neon molecule, for these 3 molecules, we have to follow the first figure. And which is the first figure? We have to follow the first figure. And what is the first figure? Figure A. Figure A indicates that there is no interaction of the s and the p atomic orbitals. Okay, so when there is no interaction of s and the p atomic orbitals, we have to follow the figure A, and the figure A is applicable to the oxygen, fluorine, and the neon molecules. Okay, so this is related to the MO energy level diagram for the interaction of the s and the p atomic orbitals, and the no interaction of the s and the p atomic orbitals. Okay, thank you. In the next video, we are going to start with our next molecule from lithium up to neon. Thank you.